Hello there, welcome to Ethio-Hahu tutorial. I'm Getachew and today I'm going to discuss about first law of thermodynamics. Before I go to the definition of first law of thermodynamics, let me say something about thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a study that's concerned with the concepts of heat and temperature. Thermodynamics also explains the bulk properties of matter in relation to the mechanics of molecules and atoms. Having said this, let's go to Zeroth's law of thermodynamics. Zeroth's law of thermodynamics says that given three systems, system 1, system 2 and system 3, if system 1 is in thermal equilibrium with system 2 and system 2 is in thermal equilibrium with system 3, then system 1 is in thermal equilibrium with system 3. Here we have system 1 at temperature T1 and system 2 at temperature T2. If these systems are in thermal equilibrium, they have same temperature. By thermal equilibrium, we have seen last time that the two systems do have same temperature. If two systems are at different temperatures, always they exchange energy until they have reached thermal equilibrium. Therefore, if system 1 is in thermal equilibrium with system 2, then necessarily the temperature of system 1 is the same as the temperature of system 2. Therefore, they have same temperature T. If system 2 is in thermal equilibrium with system 3, then the temperature of system 2 is the same as the temperature of system 3. And if these conditions are fulfilled, system 1 is in thermal equilibrium with system 3. That means system 1 to have same temperature as that of system 3. Therefore, if 1 is in thermal equilibrium with 2 and 2 is in thermal equilibrium with 3, then necessarily system 1 is in thermal equilibrium with system 3. And this law is known as Zeroth's law of thermodynamics. Let's go to first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics is also the law of conservation of energy. In mechanics, the law of conservation of energy doesn't include the internal energy of the system. But in thermodynamics, conservation of energy includes internal energy and that of heat. Therefore, the first law of thermodynamics is another energy conservation law that relates change in internal energy. When we say change in internal energy or internal energy, it is an energy associated with the position and motion of all the molecules of a system to energy transfer due to heat and work. There are two ways by which energy can be transferred between systems and their surrounding. One, by doing work that requires a macroscopic displacement of an object through the application of a force, and the other by a direct exchange of energy across the system boundary by heat. By these two mechanisms, a system can exchange energy with its surrounding. Therefore, first law of thermodynamics relates the change in internal energy of the system with that of heat exchange among the system and work done on the system or work done by the system. Mathematically, first law of thermodynamics can be expressed as change in internal energy is equal to heat added to the system minus work done. Here, this is change in internal energy. Change in internal energy. This one, heat added or extracted from the system or to the system. And here, work done by or on the system. Therefore, the change in internal energy is related to that of heat added or extracted from the system and work done on the system or work done by the system. But we have sign convention. This sign convention is very important to do any thermodynamic processes related to that of first law of thermodynamics, conservation of energy. 1. Change in internal energy is positive when there is temperature rise and negative when there is temperature drop. Internal energy is a function of temperature dependent. If there is temperature rise, then change in internal energy is positive, and when there is temperature drop, change in internal energy is negative. The other, delta Q, is positive if heat is added to the system and negative when heat is extracted from the system. When we add heat to the system, delta Q is positive. When we extract or expel heat from the system, delta Q is negative. And finally, delta W is positive when work is done by the system, expansion work, and negative when work is done on the system. Having seen this, let's see expansion and compression work. Consider a gas confined in a cylinder with a frictionless piston as shown below. Expansion work. Here we have gas at pressure P. As we know, most substances, when they absorb thermal energy, they expand. When this gas absorbs thermal energy, it expands. Upon adding heat to the system, delta Q, the gas expands. When the gas expands, it exerts a force on the piston. This one is movable piston. When this gas expands, then it exerts a force on this piston. This force is due to the pressure P. Initially, the piston is here at this point, and finally, it reaches this point while moving this distance, delta X. This force does work on this system. From mechanics of particles, work done by a constant force is given by F dot delta S. Here, the force exerted by the gas on the piston is to the right. The displacement made by the piston is to the right. Therefore, the angle between force vector and displacement vector is 0 degree. And cosine of 0 is 1. Here, applied force times delta X times cosine of 0 degree. But from the definition of pressure, pressure is defined by force per unit area, and assume that the piston has a cross-sectional area A. From this, the applied force F is pressure times area. If we insert F is equal to P times A to this equation, this delta W is equal to simply F is pressure times area times delta X times cosine of 0 is 1. But cross-sectional area times delta X is the change in volume. This is equal to pressure times change in volume. Therefore, this work done is expansion work. As the gas expands, it does work on the piston of this much, P times change in V. And since change in V is positive, then work done is positive. When you come to compression work, consider again gas inside this cylinder at pressure P. When we compress this piston, by applying external force, the piston will move from this point, from this initial point to this. This is external force. But due to the pressure of the gas, there is a force F. And there are two forces acting on this piston. One is external force and the other is the force exerted by the gas on the piston. Assuming that the piston moves at a constant speed, then the magnitude of external force is equal to the magnitude of the force exerted by the gas. And the magnitude of the force exerted by the gas is simply pressure times area. Again, the displacement made by the piston is delta X. The piston moves to the left and the external force is to the left. Therefore, work done by the external force is equal to external force dot displacement delta X. But in this case, displacement delta X is to the left, the external force is to the left, they are parallel to each other, and simply external force times delta X. But the magnitude of the external force is simply pressure times area. This is equal to pressure times area times delta X. In this case, A times delta X is change in volume. Pressure times change in volume. But in this case, change in volume is negative because the initial volume is this one, but the final volume is this one, and there is a decrease in volume. As a result of this decrease in volume, the change in volume is negative and the work done is negative. Therefore, compression work is negative. compression work is equal to minus P times change in V. And this is work done on the system. This one is work done by the system, and this one is work done on the system. Here, this is work is done by the system on the external environment. Whereas in this case, work is done on the system by the external environment. In general, expansion work is positive because there is volume increase. As a result of this volume increase, change in volume is positive, and work done by the gas or by the system on the external environment is positive, whereas compression work is negative because there is decrease in volume. As a result of this decrease in volume, change in volume is negative, and negative work is done on the system. Having seen this, let's do example. An ideal gas absorbs 5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule of energy while doing 2 times 10 to the power of 3 joule of work on the environment during a constant pressure process. Compute the change in internal energy of the gas. And B, if the internal energy now drops by 4.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule and 7.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule is expelled from the system, find the change in volume assuming a constant pressure process at 1.01 times 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. To do this, first let's have the given parameters. A. The given parameters: an ideal gas absorbs 5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule of energy. Delta Q is equal to 5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule. It absorbs this thermal energy. When it absorbs thermal energy, heat is being added to the system, and this is positive from sign convention. While doing 2 times 10 to the power of 3 joule of work, delta W is equal to 2 times 10 to the power of 3 joule. Again, work is done by the system while doing this much work on the environment, and in this case, this is expansion work. First, find the change in internal energy of the system. To find the change in internal energy of the system, we need to apply first law of thermodynamics. From first law of thermodynamics, change in internal energy is equal to delta Q minus delta W. Then we are interested to find delta U. This is equal to delta Q is 5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule minus delta W is 2 times 10 to the power of 3 joule. This is equal to, taking 10 to the power of 3 as a common factor, 5 minus 2 joule. And this is equal to 5 minus 2 is 3 times 10 to the power of 3 joule of energy. Therefore, the change in internal energy is 3 times 10 to the power of 3 joule, and positive. In this case, the temperature increases. There is temperature rise. If there is temperature rise, the change in internal energy is positive. When you come to B, if the internal energy now drops by 4.5, change in internal energy is equal to 4.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule drops negative. If the internal energy drops, the change in internal energy is negative. Negative 4.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule. And 7.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule is expelled from the system. Delta Q is equal to 7.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule is expelled from the system. And in this case, again, heat is extracted from the system and negative. Therefore, when the pressure is constant, 1.01 times 10 to the power of 5 Pascal, then what is the change in volume? To find the change in volume, apply first law of thermodynamics. From first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to delta Q minus delta W. First, we need to find delta W. If we bring this one to the left and take delta U to the right, delta Q minus delta U. Delta Q is negative negative 7.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule minus delta U is minus 4.5 minus 4.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule. This is equal to minus 7.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule minus plus 4.5 times 10 to the power of 3 joule. And this is equal to minus 3 times 10 to the power of 3 joule. And work done is negative. Since this work done is negative, it is compression work. Work is being done on the system. Having this work done, delta W is equal to simply pressure times change in volume. Change in volume is equal to delta W divided by pressure. Delta V is equal to delta W is work done minus 3 times 10 to the power of 3 joule divided by pressure is 1.01 times 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Pascal means Newton per square meter. This is equal to minus 3 divided by 1.01 times 10 to the power of 3 by 10 to the power of 5, 1 over 10 to the power of 2. This is equal to minus 3 over 101 cubic meter. And change in volume is equal to minus 3 over 101 cubic meter. This is equal to minus 0.0297 cubic meter, or this is equal to minus 2.97 times 10 to the power of minus 2 cubic meter. This is change in volume. The negative sign shows that there is volume decrease. And this is all about first law of thermodynamics. Next, we'll see different types of thermodynamic processes: isothermal process, isobaric process, isochoric process, and adiabatic processes of an ideal gas. And we'll see in detail about internal energy, especially internal energy for an ideal gas.